my dudes, welcome or welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Kai, and in this video I'm going to be going over the 10 books that I read in March, which makes the third row, I'm so done, the third month in a row this year that I have read 10 books. It's crazy. I don't like this camera angle. Is this better? Sure. I had, in other words, how do I want to put this? A very interesting March as far as reading goes, because I definitely could have read more books, but I had such a hard time with the TBR that I had set last month for March that it was terrible. I had a terrible reading month. So I definitely wanted to get more books read, but it didn't work out that way. Good Lord. Okay. It's a little better, I suppose. Okay. Anyway. So to get them out of the way, because I really don't want to spend a lot of time talking on them, I will tell you guys the books that I DNF'd last month. I'm like day 5 of wisdom tooth surgery, still recovering. My jaw is sore, so if I'm talking kind of funny, that's why. I still can't fully open my jaw because it hurts that I'm sore. So just know, that's why I'm talking weird. So out of the books that I had put on my TBR, I had put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I think I put 13 on my TBR, and then I had the book club book, which I didn't read that one either. I DNF'd 4, which feels crazy in 1 month, but I read 1, 2, 3, 4. I read 4. So I read 4, I DNF'd 4, that's 8, and then I unhauled 1. So I did not read Golden Sun because I'm buddy reading that with Savannah. We're not there yet. And then I didn't read Shatter Me or Twilight. I just was not in the mood. And also Savannah is reading Twilight for the first time, and I want to read it again with her. So I'm kind of waiting until she's ready. She also pulled it for next month and didn't read it, so it's fine. It's fine. And then Shatter Me, I didn't want to get into it. I didn't really want to dive into a series right now because I know that not only is it kind of a long series, even though the books are shorter, it is still continuous. Like, I think that she's doing like a new trilogy or quartet or something like that. I'm not 100% sure. Not 100% sure. But the books that I DNF'd this month was Book Lovers to start. And this one was a huge blow for me because I have been struggling not only with romance books lately, but with Emily Henry books, and I really, really thought I was going to like that one. But I listened to it on audio, and it was not my favorite. And I think I'm just never going to listen to a romance book on audio again because the dual narration in a romance, when the woman is pretending to be a man or the man's pretending to be a woman, it really just takes me out. So I didn't care about the characters. The audiobook wasn't my favorite, so I DNF'd it, and I was so upset about it. I think the only Emily Henry book I have left that I will probably be reading is Great Big Beautiful Life, and I've heard that that one's more of a thriller, so I probably will end up enjoying that one more than the other ones, but that one was a huge blow for me. And a huge blow to everyone who says that I don't like romance, so very great, very great. But listen, the rest of the books I DNF'd, 1 was horror and 2 were sci-fi. Okay, 1 was sci-fi, I think the other one's fantasy. But anyway, so it's not just romance. The second book that I DNF'd was From Below by Darcy Coates, and I DNF'd this one because I was so bored. Like, it was like 50% of the way through and I was just done. Just bored. Over it. And that was really disappointing to me because I've read 3 books by her, and so for me not to like this book and to be so bored by her book, it sucked. I'd had that book on my shelf for a hot minute and I was really looking forward to it, but apparently deep sea horror just doesn't get me right now at this present moment. I have never had this one before. It's the peach mango green tea Celsius, and I was really worried to try it because I feel like usually when I try peach or mango drinks, they're very bitter and they just don't taste right, but this tastes like sweet and it's kind of like a subtle mango-y taste, so I'm vibing. Because I really like their fizz-free line, and so I was really happy to find another one in the fizz-free line that I liked, because I do like the blue raz lemonade. That one's my favorite. I also really like the grape one, but the grape one's obviously not fizz-free. But that's probably like the only fizz one that I like. Every other fizz Celsius that I try, I just don't like. I like the cherry cola one. That one is good. But all the other ones I've tried, I do not like. Anyway. And then I DNF'd Ready Player One. And this one I was really also very upset about because I love that movie. I love Ready Player One, the movie. But the book, the main character was just insufferable. I could not stand this man. I couldn't stand this man. I didn't want to be in his head any longer. The story just was not pulling me in as much as it did with the movie. And I think that has established a rule for me that I will not see the movie or the TV show and then try to watch and then try to read the book, because I have done that so many times that it never goes well. Like, I read Legally Blonde because Legally Blonde's like one of my favorite movies of all time. The Devil Wears Prada, The Magicians I tried to read, Ready Player One, did not like any of them. Didn't like any of them. So I'm not allowed to watch a movie or a TV show and then try to go read the book, because it's not a good idea. So like Project Hail Mary, the movie just came out. I've heard it is absolutely phenomenal and I really want to watch it, but I have the book on my TBR and the audiobook on my Audible. And I know that if I watch the movie, I'm not going to have as good of an experience with the book. So my rule from here on out is book first and then movie/TV show second. So the last book that I DNF'd was The Will of the Many. And this one was another crushing blow because I have heard amazing, amazing things about that book. And the second one just came out not that long ago. And I literally had the hard copy, the sprayed edges and everything. And then I went to Barnes & Noble and I got the paperback like months after I had gotten the hardcover. So, because I'm a paperback girly, okay? So I got the paperback and I gave my husband the hard copy. Because I was like, I pulled it for this month. I'm like, I'm finally going to read it. So instead of doing the hardcover, I'm going to go get a paperback. You know. I also, because Libby didn't have it, and it's not on Kindle Unlimited, I bought it. I bought the ebook, and it was like $13. But I was like, there's no way I'm not going to like this book. I am going to like it. I wanted to lay it on my side horizontally in bed and read on my Kindle. And if you know about Will of the Many, that it's a chunky book. And I was like, I'm not going to be able to lay comfortably in my bed and read this book without having my Kindle. So again, why I got the Kindle version. Because boom, halfway and I DNF'd it. I literally read it on my Kindle and I tried to listen to it and I could not get into it. Did not like it, could not get into it. I struggled so hard. It just felt so world building heavy and I just didn't care about any of the characters. I did not have a good time. It was just a lot. It was just a lot. So yeah, it was just a lot of crushing blows last month. But have no fear because I did have some bangers. But I have a cheat sheet because every single time I feel like I film these videos, I can't remember what I read and what I rated them. Okay, most of the time I remember what I read, but I can't always keep track of time. And so I sometimes think that I read a book this month instead of last month. So anyway, to keep myself straight, I made a cheat sheet. So I know what books I read and what I rated them. So don't judge me, please. If I didn't have this, I would have my phone or my laptop in front of me, and this just makes it easier. So, little behind the scenes for you guys. So the first book that I read fully last month was Behind Closed Doors by B.A. Paris. And I was so excited to read this book because I had heard amazing things about it. Amazing things about it. I ended up getting it on Libby, and even though I already had the paperback, because again, I have just been in a mood where I just want to read horizontally on my Kindle. So, got on my Kindle. And I also read it while I was at the gym. I hated this book. I did not like this book. I did not like this book. Might be an unpopular opinion. I gave it 1 star, okay? It felt so vanilla for me. I called that plot twist coming from a mile away. The month was not starting off strong at all. I should have taken that as a sign that March just needed to be over already. So, like I said, we were not starting off good. But then have no fear, because then I dove into the Raven Scholar, and I loved this book. I demolished this book. I also read this on my Kindle. I loved this book. It was so good. I want the sequel. I need the sequel. Please give me the sequel. If you're looking for a high fantasy book that is not super duper hard to grasp and has some political intrigue, this is definitely the book for you. I'm so sad that I have to wait so long for the sequel. I don't know when it's coming out. It doesn't have a release date. I'm pretty sure it's a trilogy. Maybe, yeah, it's the Eternal Path trilogy. Don't know when the last 2 books are going to come out, but this book was so good. It wasn't, like I've said, I said this in a previous vlog, it's not super magic heavy, but I still enjoyed it regardless. Like, it was just a little sprinkle of, like, actual magic. It was more, like, I guess, religion based almost. Like, they had 8 different gods that they worshipped, and so that was kind of like the main focus of it. There wasn't like magic that was used, like very little. So definitely loved this. And the cover is stunning. Please. And then I hopped into Cruel Beauty, which was meant to be a Beauty and the Beast retelling, and I also did not like this at all. I could not wait for it to be over. And I was so disappointed because I really wanted to like it, but I just did not really understand what was going on. I didn't get it. I didn't get it at all. So, could be a me problem, but didn't like it. Yeah, didn't like it. That's gonna be, I was gonna say that's gonna be the theme for the rest of this, but no, that was like my last bad read of the month. After that, things started to get a lot better. A lot better, thank God. Thank God, because if I had another dud or another DNF, I was going to cry. I was literally gonna cry. But after I finished Cruel Beauty and suffered through that, I read Kiki's Delivery Service. I have not seen the movie. I think I've seen maybe the first 10 minutes of it, but my friend Shelby bought this for me 2 years ago for Christmas. It's the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition. It's got sprayed edges. The words are very big. I don't know if it's ages 10 and up, so it is young adult, and it was such a cute, cozy read. I read it in one sitting, and I'm so excited to see the movie. It was just everything that I needed after I had a really hard time at the beginning of the month with 1 stars and DNFs. It was just a very good palate cleanser that I could just dive into, and it was just everything that I needed to be able to hop into this fictional world that this author created that also just feels so real too. And I ordered the next book, like I pre-ordered the next book, so I'm really excited for that to come in, but it just felt so cozy and warm. And so basically Kiki is a half witch, and when a witch's 13th birthday arrives, you have to find a home. Like, you have to find a town to call home for a year. So you have to stay away from home for a year, which at 13 years old is kind of crazy. But basically, you're like the new witch in town, and you basically like help the townspeople in whatever is your specialty. and hers is delivering things for people. So she basically opens up a delivery service, and the kind of like found family that she gets in this, and like watching her grow as a character, it was such a good time. I loved it. 5 stars. I mean, keeping with the witchy vibes, I picked up the first 3 volumes of Witch Hat Atelier. I read the 3rd volume from the library. I only physically own the first 2, and the 14th one, because it just came out and I couldn't resist, because I borrowed 4 through 13 from the library to binge. Have I binged them yet? No, I will get there. They're not due till the 20th. Okay, give me some time. Anyway, I binge read both of these in a night. In a single night, and then I read half of the 3rd one in a night. And then I binge read the second half of the 3rd one at the library the next day. So I read the heck out of these. I have not read a manga in so long, and I really need to read more of them, because they're such a quick, easy read, and for me they're so easy to consume. So not only is it a win-win, because am I hitting my reading goal reading these? Yes. But also I get to dive into these fantastic worlds, and like the illustrations are just fan-freaking-tastic. It's like nothing I've ever read before, and I'm just really excited to see what happens in the story. And there's a TV show that just came out that I'm very excited for. So basically it follows Coco, and she is desperate to know about magic and witches, because she has grown up being told that like, if you're gonna be a witch, it's because you were born from witches. Like, you can't just learn how to be a witch. And then she finds out the truth, which is you can learn how to be a witch, but that secret's been kept a secret. That has been kept a secret because the witches don't want every single human and everybody to know that magic is attainable even if you're not a witch. And they do it through drawing symbols, which is so interesting. Again, not like nothing I have ever heard before. You have to be so precise when you draw them, and there's certain ink that you use and certain writing tools that you use, and it's just been a great journey so far. I think the 3rd one was my favorite because there's a relationship between 2 characters that just was so like heartwarming to see, and so again, can't wait to see what happens in the next volumes. I'm kind of mad at myself that I have not continued this yet, and that I've taken so long to pick it back up again, but don't worry, because I will soon. I said that I didn't really have any other books that were not good that I was going to talk about, and I forgot that I had one. Because after I read the first 3 volumes of Witch Hat Atelier, I dove into Falling by TJ Newman, and if you watched my March TBR, you know that I added this book specifically because I had just bought it and it sounded really good, and let me tell you, I gave it 3 stars on Goodreads, but it's probably closer to a 2.5. I was so disappointed. It was just not what I thought it was going to be. The plot didn't really pull me in. It felt very info dumpy. It kind of like included some point of views from characters that just didn't really feel beneficial to the story at all. I just didn't really care. I'll still be checking out the other 2 books. I think they're called Drowning and Best Case Scenario, but Falling definitely missed the mark for me. I was so upset because I had literally been looking forward to this book. I put it on my TBR because I really wanted to read it. Yay. Love that for me. Then, I picked this book up on a whim, okay? This was not on my physical TBR for March, but I picked up Best Offer Wins because it was sitting on my shelf, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to listen to my mood reading soul for once in my life, because sometimes I get the urge to pick up a book and I deny myself of it. I didn't do that last month, okay? I had such a bad reading month. I'm like, you know what? Something has to change. So I picked up Best Offer Wins, and this book was so unhinged in the best possible way. I related to the main character only on the fact that she was so stressed out about getting her perfect dream home and everything that went into it, and like just the stress that she wasn't going to get it. I felt that, because if there was a house, if I was actively trying to find another house right now and there was a perfect house and I knew I wasn't going to get it, I would be distraught. But she took distraught and rage and needing something to a whole nother level. This woman went to any ends necessary to get the house that she wanted. There's a house that's probably my dream house, maybe 40 minutes from me. I don't even think that I would do half of the things, if any of the things she did to get that house. Like, I just accepted the fact that, one, I'm poor, never gonna get that house. It is literal dream house material. So I will be seeing it in my dreams. And two, that it doesn't work like that. So this book was crazy. It was a great time. I gave it 4 stars. I really liked it. The last book that I read for the month kind of just fit in with Best Offer Wins on being literally unhinged. And that was Dear Debbie by Freida McFadden. I just really wanted something that was quick and easy to consume and was going to just, I knew was going to be fantastic. And I had heard great things about it. And Freida McFadden's let me down a couple times, but 9 times out of 10 I really enjoy her stuff. And like I said, it's just so easy to read and consume, and that was what I needed. And there were a lot of the twists I did not see coming, and that epilogue was crazy. But I gave that book 4 stars, and I really liked it. And I'm so glad I liked it. My friend had read it, and she was like, you need to read this. And I'm like, okay, I need to read a lot of books, but you know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm, for once in my life, gonna listen to my mood reading. Okay? That was my motto for the rest of the month. After everything else, was just listen to my mood reading. If there's something I want to read, I'm gonna friggin' read it. So, if you see April in my wrap up looking kind of unhinged, it's because I'm not turning that voice off anymore. I'm gonna read whatever the heck I want to. Okay? Alright, that's all I have to say about that. But those are the 10 books that I read in, I was gonna say April. Those are the 10 books I read in March. If you've read any of these books and you really enjoyed them, feel free to comment down below. If there are any books by any of these authors that I read that you think I should read or check out or bump up on my list, let me know. If you liked this video, make sure you like this video. Make sure you subscribe. I try to upload videos every other Wednesday. Beginning of the month's usually a little bit busier because I'm posting my TBR and my wrap up. So those are the only times that I really tend to post, maybe twice in a week, but 9 times out of 10 I try to post once a week on Wednesdays. So share this with a friend, and that's all I have to say. Happy April. Have a happy reading month. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.